Hello, everybody, and welcome to Video Game. You know, I'm sitting here. I picked up my phone right as soon as I started doing that, and I was instantly reminded of how terrible it looks. I hate this new update. You know what's really funny though is you can switch this for iOS specifically. You can switch it to the original concept, the clear iconography which is absolutely horrendous. Which I think is pretty impressively stupid. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's horrible. And then, but you know how Apple be. I used to be like, oh, it's cool, I'll just switch back to like Android, but you know, now Google's gross. I mean, they've been gross for a while. I think we all knew it was coming once we saw Don't Be Evil get pulled from their shit when they started Alphabet years ago. I was like, oh, there it goes. I remember at the time too, I was like, maybe it won't be that big a deal. And then people were like, I don't know, man. I feel like they could have just left it and it would have been fine. It's like, yeah. There's just words. It's like, yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know, removing "Don't Be Evil" from like your code of conduct shit. I don't even know why they did. It was just ridiculous. It's always so weird to see like tech company that like started off like kind of whatever just turned into yummy government. Kiss that butthole. Kiss that butthole. You beat it fast. I say rim it up, dude. I was rimming it up for a little bit earlier. God, I had a colony that's been, this colony is basically Ungo Bungos that have leaned like super heavy into anomaly stuff. I think I'm dead set on becoming like the anomaly master because it makes so many people upset that I think I've just become like, I'm going to be the god at anomaly and dealing with all of its bullshit. And that's a joke. I'm not actually doing that. I just love anomaly. It's like one of my favorite ones. Anomaly with biotech and Anomaly, Biotech, and Odyssey together is like insane. Like I think that like those three DLCs, the way they complement each other is just it's just fantastic. I'm dying at Phil just not speaking because they couldn't get. Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, they couldn't get fucking Danny DeVito back. Danny DeVito avoided that shit. He was like, I'm not doing this. He's like, this is dumb. I know he didn't say that. Danny DeVito is too nice. He wouldn't be like, this is dumb, but I mean, like, but I don't know, dude. Maybe he just hated. I don't even think they had Phil. I don't even think Phil in the originals though was Daniel DeVito. Was it? I don't know how many times he was called that in his life. Called Daniel DeVito. I appreciate everybody hanging in there last night watching. I got a little spicy at one point, but that was me like internalizing and getting frustrated because if there's anything that like I don't normally get like angry at stuff. I get angry when I feel like I'm not making myself clear or like doing whatever, and I felt bad about that. I didn't want anybody to think I was like pooping all over him or anything like that. That was me getting angry at me mostly for not being good at articulating thought. Because I'm okay at it most of the time. Sometimes I suck, and then I get mad at myself. Overall though, I mean, we didn't get too angry at like the boss or anything. I think for the most part it was pretty tame. I do think for most folks, like as I kind of get closer to the end of this, I do think that like Silksong is gonna end up being like too difficult for a lot of people. Which is weird to think about because yeah, like Hollow Knight was like pretty easy to cruise through, and there's a lot of things like, you know, setup wise you could kind of do to play super safe and at a distance and stuff. And I think that like Silksong's got that too. I think if you play like Architect. I think if you play Architect and you play like some of the tool-based things and you just kind of stay on top of beast stuff, like you can definitely bully a lot of stuff in the game. You might struggle with things like Carmelita and stuff like that, which you'll do a lot of damage. You just have to be really careful not getting hit by for fights where there's a lot going on. That's a little hard to deal with too. But I think that there's builds in this that are pretty safe and you can play some distance. I practiced when I did the run back and everything like that. I practiced with Shaman a little bit. I see why Shaman is really good, and I see why a lot of people want to use it when they get it. The general like kit of it is pretty nice, especially if you run like its slashes are pretty big on its own, which is pretty crazy. There's also like a pseudo like triple jump you can kind of do with it, which is really funny because last night I kept talking about doing like short hikes, like little hippity hops, to dodge a lot of her bullshit, and we were actually doing some really slick dick maneuvers. Getting around some of the things, or at least I thought we did pretty well with some of the movement in that fight. Because I was looking back at it and I was like, you know what, man? I was like, I feel like I didn't really play poorly after we kind of got the hang of it. I mean, of course, I was on Go Bungo at first, but once we got the hang of it, I was actually pretty impressed at some of the things. Like, I was like, damn, dude, we're moving. Like, we're doing a lot of damage really fast, getting through phases really fast. Like, it was just as soon as it turns into like that. The nightmare in like P3 and P4, there's just so much crap on the screen that it starts to, and it's hard to practice those because they're farther in, you know. I actually laughed and peeked at the beginning of the speedrun. I saw 2 people that were doing it, going for like the true ending thing, and I saw in both of the runs they died multiple times to this boss in particular, which I thought was crazy because I was like, that's still so weird to see even speedrunners who have already practiced this a ton and already put like a couple hundred hours into it, like still just get globaled sometimes, like just beaten. Like, I mean, because they have like lower health and stuff too, but it's crazy just to even see that, because like you don't see that a lot, especially in speedruns, even early on, like lots of deaths against bosses and stuff. So that was surprising to see. I didn't watch like the ending or anything like that. I just saw like the first little bit of the fight, just to see what was going on. I will say that we've been using a pretty different build than like what most people seem to be gravitating towards. It seems like the really common one is Shaman with the Volt thingy. And then Threadstorm, of all things, which I've used the entire game, and it's really funny that I haven't used it really for this, even though I've said like 80 times that Threadstorm is my favorite. Ironically enough, apparently Threadstorm with Shaman's Reach, Threadstorm with Shaman's Reach and the little Volt thing does really good damage and keeps you kind of safe, because like you can take swings at her basically everywhere, and with that little like short height jump thing that the Shaman does, it basically gives you a pogo when there's nothing there, which is huge, because you could easily just jump some of her stuff and pogo right over it without even having to burn your double jump to get away from something. So like I see why Shaman's pretty popular for that, because it definitely addresses some of the shortcomings that some of the other crests have. Losing out on tools is whatever, because we weren't using tools anyway. So I was like, honestly, this would probably be a decent one to try if we hadn't refilled everything, because I was like, I mean, we had run out of tool juice regardless. I was like, so I guess this was like the way to go if we were gonna try that. So I was gonna give that a couple cracks, but since we have full stock on stuff, I'm actually gonna try Beast again. I still think it's crazy that we got to P3 with Beast like super fast last night, and I think maybe knowing the fight a little bit better, I can plan out when to use Beast Burst and kind of go for that. Use Beast as like more of like a burst damage thing rather than whatever. Either that or Wander. Either one of those would do pretty well if we're going for like a Unga Bunga build. Yeah, we had some pretty good attempts. Like I think we did okay. I wasn't like, oh man, you blew it here. Like clearly I made a bunch of mistakes, but yeah, no, there was never a point where I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, I see exactly why we were dying constantly. It's just a tough fight. It is. It's just crazy. So, but we'll get it tonight. I was just surprised it took so long last night, and at the end of it, my brain's kind of going, and I'm like, after all the Souls nonsense we've been through and all the crazy games I've played and stuff, some of which were very difficult, I was very surprised to see. Very surprised to see that took as much time as it did. Oh, I guess I can flip the camera over. You know, like I don't know, that was surprising. That took that long. And that's not like me being like I'm a good gamer, like whatever. Like no, I was just surprising because like I think we've gotten through some pretty crazy difficult stuff before, and that's why I was like, damn, dude, this is surprisingly harder than I was expecting. And I think really kind of wants you to utilize a lot that's going on, or use some really powerful like charm combinations. Like I said, the little Volt Filament or whatever it's called with Threadstorm is really good. We noticed the one with the little Silk Spear dealios that like shoot out that are homing soul mass, whatever they're called, homing soul spear. Those were also very good at keeping space. But yeah, no, I mean in general, I think like it's a cool fight. It's not one of my favorites, but it is a cool one. And I think in some cases that's I think about like the rule of cool on some things. And I kind of wonder if in some fights that's where like some of the fatigue comes from, is like some of the fights you end up feeling really cool in, especially with all the movement and stuff. Like First Sinner, I think you end up feeling pretty cool even when you lose, because there's like a lot of movement. There's a lot of like, I don't know, just like I think it does a good job of making, because that's like something that's actually tricky to pull off, is letting the player feel cool in like a boss fight without like kind of just forcing it. And like and Devil May Cry is really good at that. They're very good at making the player feel cool. And like they do cool shit because it's cool. You know what I mean? It's just like I've noticed that there's a few fights in Silksong that really feel like that, and then there's a few where you don't. And I was thinking about that kind of last night. It's like there's a few that I remember thinking like, yeah, that felt really cool to do, and you feel like real slick doing whatever. And then there's some other ones where you just feel like an idiot. like the Bywater boss, whatever his name was, Grumble Crumble. You know, that one doesn't make you feel cool. You just feel kind of like a jackass at the end of it, right? Yeah, Nihilith is one that makes you feel cool because I think it's kind of set up in a way that, like, once you get the juggle smuggle going on, like we did in Arkhill with the witch thing, where it was just like we just womboed all over. Like, I mean, you feel cool. Like it's a cool feel. I got that with like First Sinner, Nihilith. I got it with what's their name? Widow 90 hours ago. You know, so like there's definitely bosses that, like, I remember, even some of the tougher ones that I was like, yeah, I can, you know, you feel pretty cool doing it. And then there's some I don't think you feel great about. Like, I think like getting through like Crust King Khan, or what, Krusty Krab, whatever his name was. You just don't feel cool at the end of that. You just feel kind of like an idiot. Like, cause you just sat there for like ever going through the stupid boss gauntlet, and then you do another boss gauntlet thingy. When I say boss gauntlet, I mean a gauntlet that's within a boss. And then you do the gauntlet, and then you get to the boss, and then maybe you die on the boss a few times, and then you finally beat him, and you're like, okay, I don't know, I just feel like a jackass. I don't know, it's just funny. We do have some P.O. Box tonight, before we jump back into Skangledang, which this will probably be the last night of Skangledang, at least for a little bit. I do plan on maybe trying to do, like, initially when this first came out, I don't often try to like speed clear shit, but I actually thought about doing like the any % speed run for it. That seemed interesting. I don't think I'd ever get a record or anything like that, but you know, I thought that might be fun to do. I know people have said that seems like a fun thing in the future at some point to try to do that with some games, but I normally don't, because like I said before, speedrunning normally requires a little bit of an obsession with a game, and I tend to not get super obsessed with games very often. Kind of fall off after a bit, even if I really like it. So that's a little hard for me sometimes to kind of get like super deep. But I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind doing like a Steel Soul run. I think if I do a Steel Soul, it'd probably just be like just to get an ending. I would not do 100%. That doesn't seem worth it. So if I did that, but yeah, other than that, yeah, we got 2 PO boxes to do tonight, which is pretty cool. I know one of them is from Gator because I can see the outside of the box, and I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, you did. Erica took off the little stickers. Erica said she's the only one that's allowed to be the Docs Master, so she always, every time I get a PO box thing, she takes the little stickers off of them, which is very sweet. She always does that. Oh, I saw that thing in Discord that Kombucha posted about Tony Hawk's 900 X Games skateboard selling for 1.15 million. I wonder what the money went to. I know Tony Hawk's done a lot of charity shit. I know Tony Hawk's just generally like a cool dude. I always remember like that's that lady who was just trying to make a big stink about Tony Hawk riding around on a skateboard with his daughter, and when she was really young, she's like, "That's so dangerous for a kid." And somebody was like, "Ma'am, that child is more safe on that skateboard than they would be in a car with you." As if they would like with Tony Hawk. They're like, I don't think you have to worry about that kid being in danger. I'm pretty sure she's good. That man can balance on a skateboard just fine. I think he will be a-okay. I think another of my like favorite things is like when Tony Hawk was like going around like interviewing they were interviewing people who were, when they were doing the Tony Hawk remake, and I think actually Tony Hawk was doing the interviews, funny enough. I remember he was talking to like Rodney Mullen and like a few of the other guys that are like those few of the other like cast that was in that, and like that dude is so, I mean, Rodney Mullen might be like the greatest skater to ever live. Like, I mean, Tony Hawk's fucking incredible. There's some really good ones out there. Like Rodney Mullen is like, going back and watching him is like genuinely obsessive. Not obsessive, impressive. I can't even talk. I was thinking obsessive from the thing a minute ago because I saw Big Kuro's thing. You know, like the watching his like early shit. I mean, the dude, it doesn't even look like it's just nuts. Watching him like on a board doing like a street skating thing, it's ridiculous. Oh yeah, Tony Hawk like walking up and telling people he looks just like Tony Hawk. My oldest brother actually has one of the original. It was one of those like flat deck skateboards. It was before that. It's not like a long board. You know, the ones from like the late '80s or like the mid '80s. My oldest brother actually has one of the original Tony Hawk boards with like the Tony Hawk like logo with like the skull of like the bird and everything like that. Like he's got one of the original ones from the 80s still, which I thought was crazy. I don't know if he still has it. I hope he does. I don't know if that got lost. Yeah, the birdhouse logo. Yeah, which was nuts. I wish I still had like a little bit of my stuff because I had a signed. I think it was one of my shoes actually, because I used to skate like pretty much all of the stuff I would normally use was Fallen. Was one of the brands I liked a lot. I like their shoes a lot. They held up like really well. Those are like one of the only like shoes that didn't just like deteriorate constantly and just fall apart and the soles like rip out. Because when you skate a lot, your shoes get ripped the fuck up. So like they get torn up pretty bad. There was also, I remember I really liked I think it was also Fallen actually who did like they had some pants that were really nice. They were like really fitted like corduroy. They were really cool. And I remember that was before like skinny jeans and all that shit got like super popular. So that was actually pretty cool to have like something that was like relatively fitted. I remember so many people asking me where I got them from, and like they weren't even expensive. They were like $30 I think for like a pair of pants that lasted like forever. And I remember I used to wear those pants like all the time. People were like, dude, where'd you get those? Like, and I'm just like, I remember at the time I got them online actually, and that was weird for like 2000 whatever it was. So don't you feel like there are more things you gotta think about to a greater depth of detail than you've got enough you to think about them? Yeah, all the time. Speedrunning for a record requires obsession. Seeing if you can learn a few trinks and win in 2 to 3 times the record is fun for many games with minimal commitment. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean it's always fun to go for like a personal best on it. I mean you don't have to get like a record for it to be super fun. So we speed ran Hallway Flashlight last year. Did that son bitch in what, like 6 minutes or something? That was fun. I tried my best to find some tech in that, but unfortunately Pank made the game too good. Pank made the game too good, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't break it. Well, not all of it anyway. I did manage to break the killer's like movement pathing stuff, but that was like a very like specific weird thing. All right, so we're doing some POBOX. I don't know who this one's from. I know one of these is definitely from Gator. I don't know if Gator is here tonight. It appears to be from the coffee place, so I'm very excited to see that. This is a... Oh my god. So this is from Dustin, which terrifies me. Dustin wrote on this note, "We all have trouble in life. Hopefully this helps you through yours." Well, I love how the packaging for this, of the little gift wrap thingy that they did, is probably larger than the item that is inside, which is pretty impressive. It might be a gun. You never know. Are we allowed to say that now? Oh, that's awesome, Zombie. That is awesome. What is this? Is this a... It's a support pickle. A briny buddy to pickle up your spirits. Oh, man. Well, hot dang. What does that mean exactly? Is this like the, Hang on. Let's pop support pickle open. This might be like the pickle that, that screams, the yodeling one that Pink sent that one time. Which means that maybe it literally is... It is... Oh my god, it's exactly the same. It just... Does it say things? It's the same... It's like the same pickle. But it's from Dr. Dingus. It has no description. Which frightens me because I feel like, what if it's going to say something racist? Alright, let's see. Hello, friend. We hope you enjoy this Dingus pickle. We're proud of this product and hope you put it to great use. This is why I keep the P.O. box open. If it happens to not work as intended, please try the following steps. I like how, again, it doesn't say anything about it. It's still just, there you go. It looks too wet. Let's see what it says. Hang on.
Each day is a new opportunity to create a better tomorrow.
Why is it British? Why is it like? Do you think like every few times I die tonight I gotta like hit this?
Believe in the magic within you. You're capable of amazing things. Your positive attitude is a game changer in any situation.
So what it's telling me is if I find myself in a field and my legs have been blown off, that all I gotta do is just be positive. And it's gonna be okay. This is good stuff. We appreciate this. This is good. It's just like, this is like, it's just like, oh, you sick? Just get better. Are you depressed? Stop. Do you have debilitating medical condition? Just don't. Just don't. That's what this said. That's what this said. That's what this said. Well, thank you, Dustin, for sending me the, that's that. Now we have a yodeling pickle and that one. I did move some of these things into that box over there in an effort to reorganize things, and now I got to bring some things back because I was trying to move stuff and then bring it back in. So what I need to do is somehow get the yodeling pickle and that one together and just play them at the exact same time. And then that way I can die. Because I think that would be it. Like, I think at that point, once you have two pickles, one that's a British man giving you some, like, general poor advice for the most part, this is like, just get better. I mean, I'm surprised it doesn't say get good. Man, you know what? That, let me tell you something. That fucking shit, I am so tired of that. Like, I'm tired of, like, not as, like, a joke. I'm so tired of people who, the assholes who, like, do it to be, like, dicks to somebody who's, like, trying to... I went and looked at a couple things, like, Steam forums and a few other things, just to putz around for a second, just to... And man, I actually saw one that was like somebody who was genuinely just like having a real hard time with Silksong. They're like, it's just really difficult. They're like, I'm tried like these things that people have recommended, all this stuff. They're like, I'm just keep hitting a wall, whatever. And then just seeing like this like wave of get good. I'm like, awesome. I was like, that's really cool. I was like, I love the internet sometimes, man. That's great. I was like, that's really cool. I love that. When did we really start seeing get good the most? Was it like around like Dark 2 that we started seeing like a ton of that? Because like we saw a bunch of it during Dark 1, but then I think the real malicious clowns showed up with Dark 2. Because that was the first one with like critical success hype wagon. The hype beast. Damn, just become orc? The Souls games were a mistake. Maybe. Maybe. But straight up cricket, like that, I noticed that too, and it's really weird. RimWorld, for being the game that has the people that are committing the most war crimes, somehow has like the nicest people. You see some of the most unhinged, wild shit, but then those same people will probably go and comment somewhere else, be like, "Oh, welcome to the game. Like, here's what you can do to like get started, and here's like here's like how you can like do like your farm early on." You know, whatever. You look at like their like most recent like colony. It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm like I run like an organ harvesting operation, and I'm like we got like 400 slaves. It's like that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But I mean, that's part of the game. So I mean, there you go. I just thought it was pretty crazy. That is true though. Kenshi also has some pretty cool. Kenshi, I'm telling you, dude. Kenshi, Zomboid, and RimWorld are like the holy trinity of games to lose your life to. What is this clip? Oh, you sick? Just get better. Are you depressed? Stop. Do you have debilitating medical condition? Just don't. Just don't. I didn't like seeing this with the pickle in frame since I was holding it, and so it didn't quite. As I was saying it didn't quite. Stop, dude. Most of Rim's toxicity is outlet in buying streamers 56 Huskies. Yeah, I guess you do get a couple. I guess you do get a couple weirdos in there with that, don't you? We're gonna open up Gator's thing here in a second. That is a wonderful clip. Even with context, that's super fun. Yeah, like I don't know that whole like any game that's got like any level of difficulty, which I mean like RimWorld has a shitload. Like 500% threats, no joke. I will say the weirdest thing about RimWorld to me though is like running into these like posts where people be bitching about like they're like, how the hell do I handle this? And they'll post like, you know, this like 900 mech raid with like whatever. They have like no defensive operation that's like reasonable. It's like, dude, if you're playing on 500% threats, not a real difficulty, by the way. For anybody, like if you ever see that, and you've ever see anybody bitch it, it's not a real difficulty. It is literally going in the storyteller and cranking the settings up to a maximum. Losing is fun is technically the highest difficulty, and it's about equivalent to about 250% threat. 500% threat's not real. It is not a real difficulty. It's not like you can't choose that. You have to go in and edit the storyteller for it. So first off, people will do that. But then also, their mod list is like 500 mods. And so people come in and be like, you could... They're like, I don't even know what that is over there. Like, what is that mech that's over there? That's like the Flondingler bot. And they're like, oh, that's from like Vanilla Turbo Awesome Expanded Super Supreme, Double Deluxe, Remux, fucking re-release continued. And they're like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. They're like, I mean, you might want to, like, if you run all these fucking mods, you might want to like not play on 500% threat. Like, there's like expansions that put in like insane enemies that can just like, if you are not running mods to combat them, you'll just die. There's like a whole like expansion. I think there's like some faction called the Void, because of course, or Void or something like that. And apparently like one pawn or like one thing from that, if you're just playing with vanilla stuff, will just destroy your entire colony. Like one raider from that is so powerful that like your entire vanilla colony would just probably get eradicated. So like you have to run mods to combat that shit practically. And then people be playing on 500% threat, be like, this is too hard. It's like, dude, you playing on made up difficulty. And then you also got this thing installed that is like literally go fuck yourself hard. I'm like, I mean, maybe don't put it on 500% threat. You're just gonna get so much crap that you can't even deal with it. Which like, 500% threat in vanilla is doable. It takes a lot of doing, but like it is doable. But like, just lower that. It's a silly single player game. Like if you can like steamroll, just lower the fucking difficulty. Like it's cool. Like it doesn't necessarily make the game easier. It makes it a little bit easier to manage. I mean, like, you know, you still got to deal with raids. You still got to deal with all this crap. Also, stop playing on Randy. People be like, oh, Randy 500, and it's like, oh, I got 40 malaria right at the beginning of the game. It's like, yes, that will happen sometimes. You're playing on Randy. Like that can happen. Randy can literally just be like, oopsie poopsie, everyone has malaria and muscle parasites. Also they have the sleeping sickness. You're dead. It's like, yeah, that's Randy. Stop playing on Randy. Play on Cassandra or something. That will be at least a little bit more predictable. It's just crazy. Like, it's so weird. That's the weirdest thing I see in RimWorld though. Is like people who just play on like absurd difficulties with like 1 million mods installed and then go fuss about it. I'm like, stop doing that. I'm like, stop doing this to yourself. Be like, you can't even ask for help because no one knows what this is. It's like, what is that thing over there? Oh. Randy hates and loves all his children equally. Yeah, Randy's the best because, like, I wish... Man, this colony might be over, actually. The one I've been running, like, on the side over here. Which I've got a full time lapse of, and it is going to be glorious because it's all the way from Tribal. It's a Tribal, anima-focused ritual run, and it has been... It's been wild. Like, it's been wild. I think I'm on Losing is Fun for this one because I was like, I'd like to actually enjoy my life for a minute. Man, as a matter of fact, I have a screenshot for y'all that I wanted to show you of one of the. This was one of the events. This is when Randy just fucking just shits in your face. It is like genuinely incredible. So this was 2 events, and this is why I'm like, if people run like a big ass mod list of like game changing shit, I'm like, no wonder you're losing. This is like vanilla like shit. This is on Losing is Fun. That is 3 mech clusters with all of these have yet to deploy their mechs. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 things that are going to deploy mechanoids. Several of them. And then on top of that, we have like 1 billion turrets. Like, you should have seen me handling this shit. Because you basically have... And then, oh, what's this over here? Yum. Here comes, like, fucking 80 Gore Hulks. And guess what? You see this little fucking piddly diddly crack? They went through this. And they went straight to my defenses. We killed them. All of them. Didn't take any losses from the Gore Hulks because we had a really good defense setup. Wasn't a kill box. I think I found a good defensive setup that does not involve kill boxes. And I'm really proud of it. Because I noticed that like all the ones that you can like look up, I feel like most of them are outdated, so I just kind of made my own thing. They went through that little piddly diddly hole, and they literally because I was like, oh, sick, the Gore Hulks are going to walk through the mech activators. They didn't. They did not. These assholes went through here, and I'm like, and you see how the mechs even built like a wall? They even had a wall. And this one tile opening over here, that I was like, come on. I watched that happen. I was like, thanks, Randy, you bitch. And like literally these dudes landed. I'm sorry, it was 4 mech clusters. No, it's 3. Anyway, they landed. And then this hit right after. I was like, wow. And then one of my colonists after this got hit with the most, it is like so fucking rare. I never see it. It's called Running Wild. Running Wild is a mental break where your colonist will become a wild person. And guess what? You cannot recruit wild people. You have to animal tame them. No one in the fucking colony has 7 animal taming because we don't do animals. So we just straight up lost a colonist because he went ooga booga and fucking started running around in his diaper out here. Would you believe that he left the safety of the walls? Because what I was gonna do was just capture him in a prison and just keep him until we got somebody with 7 animal handling. But no, he ran outside naked and would you guess, got shot 3 times by some random thing that had just spawned and he was dead. I was like, well, you know, that's what you get, man. You went back to nature and you got shot by a bullet. So, you know, that's really exactly, that's how that goes, right? Like you go back to nature, you get shot by a bullet. I don't know, man. Yeah, he should have listened to the pickle.
It's never too late to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
Oh, well, he died. So I think that might be a thing. There was also a dude that like attacked our colony and like it was early on and we imprisoned him and I borrowed his lung, just one of them, and a kidney because he tried to kill our dog. So like, because we had a dog and a cat. And I was like, okay, well, he paid the price. He didn't actually kill anything. So we borrowed a couple organs to sell and just for fun. And so we borrowed a couple. Oh, I might have also run a chronophagy on him. So I think we aged him up like 11 years and cured one of our brain scars with it. That's beside the point. The point is, I let him go. It was cool. I was going to let him go back to his faction. He literally got through the wall. A cougar went manhunt and ate him. I mean, the dude was like 3 tiles away from the gate and he got eaten by a cougar. I was like, but we still got the credit. We still got the credit for releasing him. So, I mean, that was cool. I was like, that's nice, I guess. Whatever. All right. I don't know if we should wait to see if Gator pops in to, do we wait to see if Gator pops in to open this one? I know Dustin wasn't here for the other one. Tell you what, because I know it's coffee. Know that. We should see if Gator pops in the next. If Gator doesn't pop in the next like 30 minutes or so, we'll pop it up. That might give us a little break in case I'm just blowing it on the boss. Now, like I said earlier, for anybody who just now joined us, if you were here for the late night shenanigans on this, half of the reason I didn't, I think we may not have been able to get the kill on this last night was I was playing builds that I didn't really want to play, but I kind of had to because I didn't feel like doing the run back. Which, by the way, the run back sucks ass. Because I was thinking to myself the whole time, I'm like, oh, well, I could do what Zombie was saying, which is just go and then quit out and come back to it. Unfortunately, you have to rest at the bench in the bell to do that anyway, to go back up. You have to sit down at the bench after you talk to him, so like you would always be right there anyway. And getting back there is not super hard. That takes like 30 seconds to get back to that. So I was like, well, shit. I was like, I guess the run back sucks. It's awful. Like if you want to go back and fill your shit up, it's terrible. Like it is genuinely awful. I have no idea why there's no. I know like from like a lore standpoint why there's no fast travel, but like I don't know. But yeah, we'll see if Gator shows up in the next little bit, and if they do, then we can open up the coffee box because I'm excited to see what is in Coffee Land this time, which is very sweet of them. They did not have to do that, but I'm pumped because Silver Bridge Coffee. If I could get like a sponsorship with them, man, I'd do it. They have good shit. I did find out that so Zach fucked me up though because he sent me Stumpton coffee at one point and to the PO box, and they actually started carrying it here. And thank you, Dustin, for the motivational pickle. There's actually a clip. I was gonna play it for you. I think. Never mind. Where's the button? Hang on.
You're not just chasing dreams. You're creating them.
Thank you again, Dustin, for the emotionally support pickle. I do appreciate it. The PO box is up for renewal. I have to decide if I'm going to move it closer to me or if I'm going to do whatever. Yeah, the pickle inspired me to give out advice. But thank you, Dustin. Y'all give Dustin some love for the pickle and for giving us that wonderful clip over there. And well, Zombie took the clip, but you get what I'm saying. And we got one from Gator as well over here. We're gonna wait a little bit, see if Gator shows up, so we can open it while they're here. But if they do not, we'll open it like the next hour or so. That way we do. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some Skangledang. We spent probably the longest I've ever spent on this boss. Like I'm thinking back to like the Kingdom Hearts 2 like data fights, because I'm trying to think of things outside of Souls that were like big, nasty fights that we went up against that are like bullshit, that we did end up conquering after a couple hours. I'm thinking of like the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Plus data fights are on Critical or Proud or whatever it is, or they're a bitch. Those are fucking terrible. We got through those. We got through all the Souls games for the most part. We've gotten through all kinds of crazy challenges and stuff, but man, this in particular, holy crap. We have certainly, this has certainly beaten my ass right and center, that's for sure. Now, I was like I said, I was testing out one of the more, I think this is like one of the more common builds, running, Snail Mail and then Threadstorm with the filament shit, whatever. I wouldn't mind doing a few rounds of Beast again, just because like we didn't really get to do a lot of Beast last night, which was sad. Well, I mean, we did several attempts. We didn't get to do any like after we kind of like learned the fight. Now, like I said before, the good part of this is that I did back up this save, so if I decide to if we run out of stuff and I don't want to do the nightmare run back again, we do not have to, and we can simply just reload that save and just be like, fudge it, and that's it. So, which is good. Yeah, no, I did. I felt like a crazy person. I felt like a crazy person last night because I was like, Jesus, dude, I just can't. I was like, I can't do this. As far as like stuff goes to use, I don't know if I'll do really any of this, but I might just keep like Pale Nails up. I don't even view it as safe scumming. It's just rewind in time. Besides, nobody wants to see me do that run back like 3 or 4 times. And honestly, you want to see something cool? When you get the flower thing, you can just sit in the abyss. It doesn't do anything to you anymore. I actually don't know if many people know that, because like odds are most people just avoid it. So, I don't know. It makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if many people check that, where you just like literally can just jump in the goop, which we never even did last night, which was really funny because I almost did it like 5 times. I was like, uh-oh, like, because I didn't want to like get killed there, so I was like, oh shoot. But yeah, that makes sense that, you know, you would whatever. This is gonna be like really disorienting trying to do Beast on this now, because like, yeah. Thank you guys again for sending stuff to PO Box. Like I said, I might end up moving it to a location that's a little bit closer to me, but I'll keep you guys posted on that because it's up for renewal. So I have to decide if that's gonna be something I'm finna. Oh shit, I thought I could do my thing. Oh no. Oh no. Damn, I ain't got enough sauce. Oh, it's too close. Silly me. The Abyss does look back sometimes. Yeah, the dice will sometimes give you like a free little get out of jail free card on getting hit, and then sometimes do the critical. For the most part, they're pretty mediocre, but as far as yellow charms go, they're good. They're amazing. They're probably one of the best ones because they, you know, do anything. They do literally anything. It's actually hard to get back into like Ungo mode for this because I'm so used to like trying to dodge stuff like persistently. So it's like really difficult to get back into like just hit, like go do it. Just hit. Cause I gotta get my sauce back. Gotta get my sauce. maybe I damaged my beastometer. I think I did. I think I damaged the beastometer. I have to relearn Ungo like that guy in RimWorld who got shot. Yeah, that's true. I'm running wild right now. I'm running wild. Running wild. But yeah, the dice are really good. Also, hey Val over on YouTube. We had a couple people hanging out on YouTube, chatting pretty consistently. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. I actually thought about doing a few attempts last night, like after stream, and I was like, no. I did like one. I was like, I have to stop. I was like, this is not working. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Jalapeno, what's up? Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we're over here doing it. Over here trying beast again. As we refilled our trash. Yeah, I actually did try to go to sleep, like, pretty quick after that. Trying to go beast mode. Now I'm trying to, like, reorient doing, like, Ungo super aggressive play. Because we were playing, like, a little bit smarter towards the end of last night after 90 hours of attempts. Hopefully I don't end up washing all that away with the beast. Gotta push through that. Beast is one of the only ones that can seem to like get just like straight through that for some reason, and I don't know why. Like if you just like walk through her sometimes, like it'll just do. I couldn't begin to tell you why. I don't know if it's because like Beast like push you forward a little bit. I don't know. Something. Just need to get a little bit of sauce. Dang. Dang. But the good thing is, our traditional setup, thankfully, even without tools and stuff, I did save. I'll probably save our beastie consumables for. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is in particular, but yeah, it seems easiest. I did it on Witch a couple times, but yeah, I think you just have to like get hit and just push through it or something. I don't know. It is definitely a strange one. Okay, so the void thing is still not worth doing. I'm trying to remember like what things were worth doing the do on. Remember, if you're Flea Brood, you can like just kind of ignore a few of the attacks. Boy, I sure do wish sometimes I had a regular down strike. I learned if you spend the whole fight in the air, only one of her attacks can hit you. Luigi up there just like, I'm just gonna hang out up here and like summon cogflies and shit. Maybe tap every now and again. I'm just gonna live up here. Oh yeah. Because I kind of wanted to try Flea Brew Fire and Wanderer. I thought that might be interesting too. You can crank if you can like get on top of the target, which that's the hard part. Oh, that dash attack. Oh, beast. Dash attack get me all fucked up. He's a clip god now, apparently, with the wisdom. Ooh. I just Pokemon off everything until she died. I think that's what zombies said they basically were doing. They're like, yeah, I just kind of like dangled around, just healed, just slapped a couple times, walked away. I'm like, hey man. I don't know why that just reminds me of like Red versus Blue. It's like, just stop being like a camper. It's like, well, it's a legitimate strategy. It's a legitimate strategy. Okay, so I just need to walk forward for that one. Okay, maybe not. I think it just depends on like where you get hit. I just think about OP fucking beast would be with the green little moss thingy. Does it feel good to see when we're just going absolute batshit fucking dumb and just like, cause it feels good to do. Where you're just like the boom boom, but like I fucking love Beast. I swear to God, that is the dopamine for me in this game. Just the sound that shit makes. Oh my God. And I just still love how they did like a specific like soundbite for Hornet that's just for that. Like that's so funny to me. I don't know why that cracks me up. Oh no, it was wrong side! Y'all, I thought it was the left first. Bummer. That was a great run. I even banked enough heal for it. I don't know if you saw I had enough silk, because I was like, I'm good. I was like, I'm good, dude. We're good. But yeah, I had the silk. I for some reason thought that the thing came from the left, but I don't know, it might depend on what side you're on. Which realistically, the safest thing to do is to just double jump and then claw hook is the best way to go about it. That is a stupid fucking fast, like, phase change. That was crazy. What was that, like, maybe like 35, 40 seconds? That was bonkers. Got me a little tricky here, though, because I don't have a buff here. I just got back enough. I wonder if I could get away without quick binding. Probably not. The other big reason I did the backup save, by the way, it's not really the beast shards that's that big of an issue, because like we've got a decent amount banked. We can refill like half of our thing. It's not a big deal. Those aren't nearly as bad. It's mainly for the flea brew, because flea brew we have to go all the way back and then go all the way out to the ducks or whatever, and then come back, ride the bell down, do the whole bit. I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's awful. That's true. Yeah, Ungo can't. You're right. Ungo can't count that high. That's a good point. I want you to look at that fucking health. God. Oh, fucking beast. Shit's so crazy. Like if you just get like the rhythm for it and you're just like you're all over them, it's like, all right, fuck it, we're about to smash. Worth it as long as I can just get a little bit more. Oh no, I should have gone the other way. I didn't know she was doing the little abyss dash thing. Ugh, dang. I gotta be careful. I don't want to kill her in like the first like 30 minutes to an hour of doing this, because then like what do? Well, the tricky part about that, Izuku, is like just knowing when to move and like when to try to bait the because you'll see me move away for like some of the little void dash things, and I'm trying to get her to do like the big like somersault thing into like landing, so that way I can actually get like a bit. There's a huge damage window with that. Oh no, damn. I killed her too fast. I thought she had a few more hits in her. No. Yeah, she does a lot into the goo, yeah. It's hard to, like, that's what sucks is when you, like, lose out on damage windows, because the worst is when you get a knockdown on her and she falls, like she gets, like, a down state, and she goes into, like, the goop pile, and you're just like, bruh. You're like, bruh, come on. No, I got away from that. I was out of jump saws. I think there was a couple times last night in P4 that we were like a few hits away from winning too, where I was just like, damn it. Well. Yeah, if we run out of fleet brew, we'll just roll back to save. 'Cause I'm pretty happy with Beast. I really don't want to do Shaman with the Bolt Filament and all that stuff, because that is I've seen how much damage that does. It's disgusting. Like I actually wouldn't be surprised if they changed how Volt Filament works for some of that stuff. Or if it was like intended to do that. Yeah, I think it might be, just because it's not like so crazy that it's like busted, but oh, it's not what I'm supposed to do. Oh my god, I went You have to be so careful with the dash attack. No, I didn't slink fast enough. It is an Act 3 only crest. I was talking more about Threadstorm Volt Filament, but Shaman is really good too. I hate its heal, but yeah, that was what Zombie was saying, Luigi. They said there was like a 10-minute fight practically just from playing super safe, which seems like a really good way to go about it. That's a smart move. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's also only Act 3. Yeah. That's true. I had forgotten. Wow, okay. Fine, I can regain on that. Never mind. I was gonna say I could regain on P2 because yeah, P2. I can get like that back there. Ooh. Yeah, despite any of the frustration last night, I think I still... I stopped having quite as much fun when we ran out of the sauce to do Beast, because I was really like, dude, I really like playing Beast on this fight. It's really punishing on Beast though, like as you can see, if I make too many mistakes in the first bit, like you just get shredded. I don't know what the hell I just did. Where the hell is she? Parry on that. Yeah, it's tough sometimes. It's very precise. You have to like dashing. You have to like dash, stop, swing, because if you dash, swing, and you go into like the dash attack, most of the time it's just gonna put you in a bad spot. So I try to like dash, stop, and then swing, which is tough. It's hard to like keep that like in mind, because like it's so easy to like want to dash and immediately swing. You have to like dash, like stop, and then swing, because if you don't, you'll just be like and just like jump into him and get hit. And then it's like, well, there you go. Well, there you go. The warding bell, we actually I talked a little bit about the warding bell last night, and I actually showed off kind of how it works. The warding bell, in my opinion, isn't great for Witch. I think doing the damage one's a little bit better. It's like most of the time you'll be using Witch's Heal in like down phases. So like that ends up being kind of a thing. Why am I not buffed again? Okay, I'm gonna do... Oh, bad. Ooh, real bad. Oh, that was terrible. Not freebies. Well, at least we got a little heal sauce. Bad P1 and P2. That's a lot of damage, but at least had a little bit of heal sauce to try to zerg into her and get a couple pickies back. You know, actually, let me try to dodge this the normal way so I can try to do that mid-fight. That way I don't have to worry about wall climbing. I don't have time to, it's fine.
Oh no, I used the grippies, which means I didn't have the thingy do, so I ran out of silk.
I ran out of silkies. If you ain't last place, you lost place. Oh, consult pickle? Yeah, I can do that. What's it gotta say?
When the going gets pick up your discipline, your determination. May the way expect.
No, I got back here.
Oh my god, she all over those fucking parries this time. And I can't like consistently get like a little move through on that either. Jesus Christ. How many fucking times has she parried this round? Oh, I thought she was doing something else. Ooh, you lost the second half. How could you have not, like, whatever? That's a lot of stuff. Well, the second one fucks us up a lot, but there were a few instances where we were able to actually like, get some damage in there after that. It just depends on if she does the, because she'll end the void dash sometimes on the second, which is really weird. The jump thing does make sense, though. I don't know why I hadn't tried that. That's pretty funny. I hope my brain will allow me to do that after so much to do. Boo! That's okay, this will just be like a... No. I hate those. I still do. Still hate them very much. Not big fun. Those pools. My shit from last night still stands on, like, I do feel like there's parts of the fight that are like, damn, that's like a little bit of extra too much. Just a little too much. It's like if somebody made like some banging ass like lemon bars, but then they're like, put some fucking frosting on it. I'm like, no. Lemon bar, it's good, man. Put a little powdered sugar. They're like, no. Put some cream cheese icing on it. I'm like, can you calm down? You ain't gotta have that much on it. They're like, yes, I do. be like, you Danton need that. Dummy, I should have done that. Honestly, I'm just glad I didn't get hit in the heal window there. That would suck. Would you like some extra hard sauce with your difficult nachos? Like, I sure would. I sure would. God, I really wish the injector wasn't like mandatory for this. I would love to have the Silksong damage just for the little extra added in there, or being able to do whatchamacallit, Weave Light or something like that too, just to be able to push back up to that first buff window. What? Oh, I thought, I didn't actually know that No, that makes sense, because she did the thing, and then I knocked her out of it. Because I was confused as to why she didn't go straight into the portal deals on the ground, and I was like, oh, right, we, like, knocked her out of the laughy thing where she would normally go straight into that. I'm trying to remember to try the jump thing for the parries, but I can't. Like I said, I'm gonna have to like get over my brain. Very, very dumb. Yeah, I'm trying to go a little bit slower and get the brain to just do a short hop, kind of like the last night, because I can't do it with Beast, unfortunately. But the little like, there's a very particular like short hop you can do when they're doing the like dash thing. You can absolutely catch with like a parry and then hit them too, and then get away from it, which is really nice. But God, it's so, the timing on it's like so tight that it's practically just not even worth doing. It's so difficult to do. The easiest one is Witch, just because Witch has like a little bit of a, it's got like a little bit of like a suck effect on the downstrike, which is good. Well, I'm here. I took it off already. Yeah, I tried there. I just fucked it up because I wanted to angle. No. You gotta watch out on my fleabies. I think we're almost out. Yep. All right, cool. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like I got, what, maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes of attempts on Beast, and then I'd have to go run back and do it, which is fine because I made the backup save. And I'm hoping that the way I did it works, so I could just quit out real quick, copy this shit over, and go back to like right where we were before we started. Which I think I made it at this bench. I either made it at this bench or I did it at the one. It was wherever we started the stream. So if we're at the bench there, then that should be fine. That way we can just refill shit without having to. beast? Like, what? What happened? Y'all saw it. Like, what even happened? What? What even happened? Did the buzzsaw just give up, right? Oh, no. Did the buzzsaw just give up at the end? Oh, the buzzsaw. Dude, beast would be so crazy without the thing. All right, let me let that sink. Let me try just copying all this, which this should be good. So just slap in the app data folder, which is where the save data goes. That way you can save some time and not have to go regrind. I can't believe how close we were earlier, but I'm also grateful that I didn't kill it there, because I would have been. Oh, it might. That might fuck up because of the cloud sync. I might have to turn that off temporarily. Yeah, actually, I just realized that. Yeah, I'll have to turn off cloud sync for a second. That way it doesn't, because it'll pull the other one that we don't want. Since it just, oh, I guess you can. I don't know if you can. Can you force run cloud sync on a Steam? I can't remember if you can do that. Roll it back, roll it back, roll it back. Dude, is that some drink? I'm doing it. Oh. So what's everybody up to? What are you guys doing? The Weedawana, no doubt. I think this is it. This should be. Did we do it right? Yep. Cool. Perfect. Now we don't have to worry about going back and doing the farmies. Wow, I just defaulted to Reaper. That's really funny. Pretty funny. Alright, so we got thing. I'm really not using those, so it doesn't really matter, but we got dice, fleebies, thingies, no pushies. Cool. I applied to move to a larger apartment in my building, hoping that goes through. I do too. Hope it does. Hey, Zars, what's up? Oh, you can do it with Steam, the command line interface. I'm surprised they actually don't have like just a thing in there. Know what I'm saying? I wish Beast really didn't rely so heavily on like flea brew and stuff like that. I wish it was a little bit easier to kind of just do. Oh wow, she like flipped straight around for that. Impressed. No. I need the sauce. Why you come here? Oh, hey. Bloodle saved my ass. Nice. It didn't that time. Didn't that time. Maybe next time, though. Oh, that's so nice that we can actually, like, refill our crap without having to run all the way back. Thank God. Thank God, because that would not have been fun. Most other loadouts would be fine, because this just has like such a high consumption. And it's really not, like I said, it's not the shards so much as it is the flea thing. Because if you're using it like 2 or 3 times in the fight, you're just gonna run out. It still is really weird to me that they did the little plasmium gland thing, but they didn't do one for the fleabird. That was strange. Yep. sucks. I was strictly trying to get away from the other things. She might die before I get it. What? Oh my god, those are so perfectly placed all the time. So well placed. Silly, silly Billy. Finished eating my cold DoorDash order because my food went on a wild journey. Oh, that's the best. I love when it just goes off on an adventure. Which, like, I appreciate that they do the whole, like, oh, the Dash is doing, like, multiple deliveries or something like that. But, yeah, I think it ultimately, and most of them don't use, like, a container or anything like that to keep anything warm, or... Some of it's not even warm in the first place because the place you get it from just sucks. So, like, there's not much the Dasher can do either, so, like, then it's just extra poopy by the time it gets to you. You know? Burned out my heal window. So I got back enough sauce there. I just wasn't confident that I could. Wasn't confident I could pull the thing out fast enough. Boop. Still a lot of fun though, Beast. I like it a lot. Probably won't be too many people out there that fight this shit with Beast, which is cool too, so that'll feel fun. What if there was a hidden achievement that's like, defeat last boss of Beast Crest, you idiot. You dummy. I wish the down strike did something there, it sucks. I didn't have time to jump there. Wow, did you see her cancel out of that? I feel like I very seldom see her, like, just stop doing the dash like that. What? Oh, right, I got hit by void shit. I was like, what happened to my health? So, that's a... that's pretty rocky as far as going to that next phase, because that's one hit and we're dead. Oh, that would actually be a good... That'd be a good, good name for, the achievement. Oh my god, I thought she was gonna do... She almost always does the little, like, the rain thingy or the summon thing right there. I'm surprised she actually did a regular attack. And, dude, we actually got really close, like, in the first few attempts. We were, probably about 4 or 5 hits away from killing her with Beast in P4. I just flubbed it right at the end. We were a little close. I've returned to Monkey. Well, we had to stop Beast, like, what, like 30 minutes into the attempts last night or something? It was pretty early, unfortunately. Oh my god, that fucking dash jump! Oh, God. It's not even the boss there, dude. That's just me. That's so hard to deal with. Once it gets, like, frantic, it's like... That, like, maybe half-second input you have to do to, like, dash, stop, swing, so you don't accidentally, like, dash into the attack. Which just fucks you so many times. That put me in that weird corner, and I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, no, 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 no. I'm actually surprised we didn't phaser there with that huge chunk of damage we did there going into... I'm gonna try to use the Flea Brew going into... Wow. I'm gonna try to use the Flea Brew going into, the, like, lappy bit she does. That's, like, such a good chance to do some damage. Oh wow, she didn't do the summon. That's a pretty good. I'll take that. Yeah, that's fine. Because like that gives us enough. As long as we don't claw hook here, we should be enough. Or should be at enough to heal, or not heal, but shift, and then also do Flea Brew and stuff to get a good chunk of damage there in the beginning. Because if we did what we did earlier, we should be able to get her into P4 in about 15 seconds. If we really move. And we gotta move. Fuck. I meant to cut back with the hook because I didn't have enough to heal anyway, so I was trying to do it, but I didn't hit it fast enough. I'm a level with you. I keep forgetting that even happens because it's such a... It is such a silly addition to that fight. That was good, though. It was a good, it was a pretty good run. Good Unga. Maybe good Bunga. It's hard to stick to like some of the fundamental shit that we're doing because it's just, there's a lot of visual clutter. So I have a hard time telling when I can like do certain things. Felt pretty good, man. The body. You know what they should have done in the interest of keeping it nice and stupid is they could have made it to where, like, she's also active during that. The beast is unleashed. You got anything next? Unfortunately, damn, you did. Unfortunately, I don't think we could fit that one in a single clip. She's like, yo, can you eat this? Okay. She gonna juice us. Ready? Yeah, that's actually pretty fucked up that we devoided her, but we couldn't. But Garmond's dead. That is pretty shit. But like they let Lace live, but Garmond gonna be dead. Unbelievable. You know what they'll probably do? They'll probably make a plush of Lace, and then we can be like spurned, 100%. Spurned 100%. Damn. That's okay. Maybe we'll end up like. I do have a feeling that like because him and Zaza are there, I've got some theories on something they might do with the DLC. Oh, look who it is! It's John from the first video game. Dude, we were talking about that ghost. I was like, what if it was like you were fucking dying and here comes Garmond just blasting a Zanzibo, falling into the abyss. He's like, I found my own flower. It's like, fucking how? Which would be pretty hilarious. You know, so, you remember I was joking earlier about like... I was like, I had some ideas of what might happen here. I was like, the thing that I thought was going to happen was similar to this. I was like, either John Knight is going to show up at the end and help us, which would be cool, or we'll see John Knight at some point in like whatever. And once we saw the abyss, I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, we're going to see Jonathan. Obviously, every time I make a stupid fucking joke about something, it seems it has to happen. Well, not every time, but most of the time. Especially in horror games, which this is not. So this one could have been fucking anything. Yeah, no, I'd fucking die if like, that'd be so funny. Oh, see, yeah, it's like the little Lost Lands place that looks like Garmond's from, the little Lost Village or whatever. I also noticed that Zaza looked like a very particularly large-eyed version of those little bugs. Oh, there he goes. See you later, man. Seeing to be continued on a game that's this long is unreal. Like, that is, like, actually the most ridiculous shit I think I've ever seen. Like, I got to see, like, a sentient penis fly into space and be like, to be continued. Yo, we whooped. That last run, I told you, man, that's all I had to do. I wasted so much time last night. I was like, if I could just unleash the beast. That's all I gotta do, man. I just had to unleash. All I had to do was unleash the beast. I was fussing about it all last night. I feel like I should have gone and whatever. Yeah, I do kind of wonder though if like I don't know why I saw like Matt Griffin up there. It was like marketing and public relations. It's like for that one Twitter post that was like, game's finally coming out. Which is a joke. I know they do a lot. I'm just saying. I can just imagine, but like, thank you for the Twitter post that said that this is finally coming out. After 54 years of... Because like, what's Matt Griffin gonna do? Like, they gotta give him the... They gotta give him the fucking stuff. So... How come Tropio gets his own credit? Dang, dude. Unbelievable. How come? Why not Garmond get his own credit? Did he? He fucking died! Damn! Well, I guess Trebio died too. So I guess, like, that's fair, I suppose. that's fair, I suppose. He also fucking died. We killed him. Why, we killed everybody, honestly. I forgot to look at the screen. I'm sorry. Oh, that's cute. They put the Seth dude in there. That's really nice. I know, not even listing every single backer. Unbelievable. Must hate fans. Honestly, yeah, you could have just told me that, like, you could have just told me that Joey Tribbiani or whatever was Trebio. I probably just would have believed you. Joey Tribbiani. That's way too much time, even for 100%. I mean, like, I'd say cut 26 hours out of that for just faffing about and being dumb. Because, like, you gotta remember, I'm pretty much, I don't really like using guides for Metroidvania stuff. I like to kind of bumble around a bunch. We also went idiot mode on a few bosses that we should have just gone and done something else. So that's definitely one thing. Yeah, I know, right? Not 100% in under 30 hours. Unbelievable. There's probably at least a whole 1% of those backers here. There's probably not. All right, now see, we have to do Operation Chill, and we gotta find. Well, I wanted to just go back to Bellheart, but Bellheart's all busted anyway, so I guess that doesn't matter. I was gonna talk about stuff because, like, technically we don't have 100% of everything, but we have the 100% achievement. So, I was gonna talk about it overall. Because, like, finally I can do that now that we're done with it. So, looking at the achievements, there are a few in here that I will probably never get. We're at about 45 out of 52. True Hunter will get, I'm sure. That's just the Hunter's Memento thing. That's not a big deal. The speed run to complete the game in under 5 hours, that doesn't seem too hard. You could probably do it in, like casually, you could probably do it in about 2 to 3, I think. Because speedrun gamers are doing it in like an hour or so. I think you could easily do that. 100% game completion in under 30 hours. That's miserable. That's pretty miserable. I hope they don't imply that, like, Hornet and Lace be kissing, because are they like sisters technically? That's gross. I hope people don't think that, because, like, they're technically, like, related. That's like if Darkwing Duck and Negaduck, like, got together and they just started kissing. God. Anyway, so half sisters doesn't make it better. Yeah, but like Hornet got that dog in him, right? They got just Silk in them. Know what I'm saying? So, like, yum. That there's my kissing sister. Finish the game in Steel Soul also doesn't seem too bad. Because you could just do the regular game. So, like, that doesn't seem terrible. Because, like, nothing I can think of, like, just in the run-up to, like, the standard ending is really, like, that bad that you couldn't just play, like, safe 4 and get to. So I don't think that one would be too bad. And then the Steelheart one, this is the one I will probably never do. This is the one that I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. If anybody has that achievement, for the most part, outside of, like, just a couple people, they cheated. Then there's 0.5% of people have that. Yeah, people. I firmly, unless that person is, like, a super duper speedrunner that's been playing the game, like, nonstop since start, I don't think many people are gonna have 100% Steel Soul yet. Legit. I think there might be a couple people that have just gone all in and done it, like a few, but I don't think that many people have legitimately gotten that, because that is genuinely difficult. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, shockingly enough, the 100% completion is only 7.4% of people. So, like, and the Herald is only 7.2. So that's still really, that's shockingly low. I think, like, 21 days after the games come out, especially with how anticipated this was. But the overall, first off, absolutely awesome to be able to help with this in any capacity and get to do Garmond. I am super thrilled that people love him as a character. Erica's relayed a couple things to me because she'll see like cute little like TikToks and stuff like that of like people talking about him or like reacting to it, and she'll say something. She's like, "Oh, my husband actually voiced," and they get so excited and they're like, "Oh my god, he did great!" All that, like the positive shit that I've heard about him, especially like his voice stuff, has been like the most heartwarming thing ever, especially from you guys. Like absolutely just like the most heartwarming thing ever to hear that. Like so amazing. You know, that's just that's like incredible to hear, and it made me like really happy that because the whole time when I'm doing it, I'm like, you know, oh, I hope I don't screw this up, or I hope he doesn't end up being like a character that people are like, God, he's so annoying, or like whatever. But I'm really happy that that people ended up liking him so much. Like that makes me super excited. So next time I talk to Team Cherry, since they have like zero social media presence for the most part, I'm gonna talk to him about that, because like I think that's, you know, tell him some of the funny stories and stuff like that, because I think it's just really cool. Genuinely, like I said before, I'm not normally one to big like shill it up. I don't, in this case, I don't fucking care. Y'all do whatever you want to link, whatever you want to shill it up. I don't care. I think I've earned a little shill cred. I normally don't do that kind of shit. But in this case, I'll allow it. I'll allow the shill, because like this was like super fun to be a part of. We'll figure out what we're gonna play next here in a minute, because I still gotta open up a PO box thing. I was gonna wait and see if Gator showed up for this one, but we'll go ahead and do. Well, yeah, but see, like they all to Silk, so like they kissing into Silk, you know. But I guess that's not really like fair, I suppose, because like we all got blood, but like our blood didn't come from the same spot, I guess. But no, it was super cool to be able to do this. Some of the comments of people who have like come in like randomly from YouTube, like the one last night cracked me up. It was like, wait, are you actually the voice of Garmond? I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh my god, like that was super fun. So that's been really cool. And you know, it's one of those like things where, you know, I was kind of hoping we'd see some new faces from it, and we definitely have, which is awesome. Not that I expected like that to be like some crazy like growth thing, but it's been really cool to see some new people, and I've been really happy to see you guys' reaction to it. And I know I won't be able to hear most people's reaction to it, because a lot of people who are, you know, super deep into playing this, who haven't finished it yet or whatever, weren't able to come to the streams. So, you know, we haven't like heard a lot from them yet too. But no, it's been super cool. As far as Silksong as a whole, I do feel like the game's like a little long. And even if I hadn't been stream taxing it and like just kind of slogging through trying to find things on my own or doing things in weird ways, like even if I cut a good chunk out of it, it does feel like it's pretty long. Not in a bad way most of the time. I think that the length of it only really starts to kind of rear its head, because we talked about this a little bit. Like Act 3 starts to, I think, showcase. Obviously, the game's not perfect. It was never going to be perfect. Hollow Knight's not perfect either. Hollow Knight is a much more tame experience than this one is, and like okay, now that I'm done, I can actually say this. I had it was a like 99% sure that he was going to die, and that was mainly from some of the notes that I was given as far as like his VA stuff, and they told me that there were a couple fights with him, and so I assumed that one would be like a duel or like a fun thing, based off of the lines that I recorded for it, which were the duel in Chorus Citadel Land or whatever. The second set though was pretty obvious that he had been like Abyss corrupted or whatever. And I knew about the whole like Zaza coming to find you and all that stuff. So I knew like a good bit about like what Garmond's thing was. The interesting thing about Garmond as a whole is that like I thought he was going to be a little bit more goofy as a character, because they originally said he was going to be like very Don Quixote, which he kind of is, but like he ends up being like the character itself definitely deviates from that, because he ends up being crazy competent. Like it's actually really cool, because him and like Chakra and some of the others, like when they show up, it's like a breath of fresh air, especially with that's where like the game's length I think does well for it, because it does feel like you can be off for a while and then you see a character that you recognize, and that definitely is fun. But sometimes like I like there are several zones I think, and portions of zones that I think could either be shorter or just gone. I think that like the Wicker Man tree boss thing, that didn't even need to be in the game. Like that's neat and all, but it doesn't need to be there. When you get the hearts going into Act 3 for the true ending stuff, I feel like Krusty Khan would have been cool to just be like a really badass duel against this guy. Maybe have a boss like a gauntlet like before. Yeah, there wasn't a ton of voice direction. There was like, I mean, they had like notes, but there were some distinct ones that I legitimately, I was like, yo, we're gonna have to like do like a meetup for this. They're like, oh, that's cool, we can do that. I was like, because I don't know what you want for this exactly, and I couldn't get samples, because I was like, do you guys have like a sample of like one of the characters singing so I can kind of understand? Because they're like, well, Hornet pulls out like an instrument and they play it, and this characters will sing. They're like, but they don't sing all the time. Like sometimes they do like a hum or whatever. And I was like, what do you want like Garmond to do? I was like, since he's like a knight, do you want to do like I thought about it and I was like, do you want to do like almost sounds like a battle hymn, but like he's the only one singing it? Because maybe he had like, you know, maybe he would normally do it with like a group, but since he's alone, it just kind of sounds, you know, like him just vocalizing like a little bit. And so we tried a bunch of things, and there's a few of them in the recordings of like the singy things. But I think him as a character, he's not like a singer kind of, like I think there are other characters that are that fits their character a little bit more, whereas for him I don't think that really fit him. But yeah, there was like pretty minimal voice direction because they didn't want to give away the plot too much. And like I said before, I even jokingly was like, do y'all want me to do y'all need any extra play testers or anything like that for like final runs or whatever? And they were like, as amazing as that would be, they're like, we really want to, you know, see how you feel kind of like on the initial reactions without the spoilers and stuff. So yeah, I knew a bit about what was going to happen to Garmond. I just didn't know he was going to be as involved, and I didn't know his story was going to basically run directly parallel with Hornet's. And Chakra's thing, Chakra's ended a little bit earlier than I thought it would, but she's still present throughout most of the game. I just thought it was strange that hers kind of ends on like a very flat note, which I felt was kind of sad, that it just doesn't really do much. Sherma also kind of brick walls, because she has like the whole thing that goes on in White Ward, and that's really good. That's kind of like the big thing with her. But then like when she's back, she's kind of just there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't do a little bit more with them. It sucks that Garmond dies, but honestly, oh yeah, Sherma is apparently like a boy. I had no idea. I thought Sherma was Gruul. Yeah, but Sherma just kind of whatever. Doesn't really feel like much really concludes with them, which is strange. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, my only complaints, I think, at the end of it, and, like, there's so much good. The movement's great. You know, I mean, there's wonderful... I think it sucks, though, in some cases, because, like, they gave Hornet, like, a really cool moveset that takes some getting used to. But then the game doesn't do platforming very much. Like, I feel like platforming is, like, not absent, but I feel like it just doesn't have as much of a place in this as it did in the original game. I feel like they opted for more... like mini bug gauntlet things or whatever. I'll drink water here in a second. I'm trying to keep my thoughts together for this. You know, so they like, I feel like they focused a lot more on combat, which is really weird because I would normally be like a big fan of that, because y'all know I like that kind of stuff, but it does feel like it gets a bit exhausting in some spots, just because it's Paint was joking about it the other night. He's like, you know, I've been kind of like dipping in and out. He's like, but I feel like every time I pop back in, you're in like a new like bug gauntlet. I'm like, there are a lot of them. Like, there's definitely a lot of them in this. There's a lot of bosses. Some of them feel like they're just there. They're there and they're gone. And like, not every boss is going to be a banger, but like, damn, some of them are so forgettable. Somebody mentioned one the other night, and I was like, I legitimately forgot that existed. Not only was it like 50 million hours ago, but like also I just completely forgot it existed. That is interesting. Why am I trying to jump? So I mean, they're like, I think there are valid criticisms here. I think that like in some cases the scope creep got out of control. I think the fact that there are so many cut zones and stuff, apparently according to that little museum thing, I'm like, I don't even know how. Like, you can definitely tell that there is like some scope creep for sure here. I think also it fell prey to the playtesters getting a bit too good at the game in some spots, where like I feel like they were like, damn, we got through this like really easy maybe, and I don't know this for sure. I'll have to ask them, but like it does feel like that in a few spots where it's like, because it's like there's always like these extra like sprinklings of difficulty that don't really. Erica's like, oh, you trying to sum up your thoughts? Let me spam as many point things as I can. So like, I think that like the extra sprinkling of difficulty in some cases is kind of what pushes some of these things over, like from like nice, fun, difficult thing into like starting to get frustrating because you're like, dude, this is ridiculous. It's like Biowater with the huge run back, and God help you if you don't find the hidden bench because then the run back's even longer. It's like they became really, really obsessed with like the Pantheon thing and kind of wanted to make like every fight like that, which it totally didn't need to be. And then it's funny because the ones that really aren't like that are some of my favorites. At the end of it all, I like Lost Lace, not one of my favorite encounters. It was super fun to do with Beast, and that was what I wanted to do it initially with, but in my stubbornness, I didn't go back and go refill our stuff because it was ridiculous to do so. I do worry about like, because this series has a ton of fans. And like even looking at like the amount of reviews and stuff that the original Hollow Knight had, and you have to think that a lot of people played it on Switch. I mean, like tons of people love this game, obviously. There are people who are slowly plinking their way through it. There are a couple people I know that are not super into like crazy challenging shit that like played Hollow Knight and really enjoyed it. Like there's a couple people off the top of my head I can think of, not here. But I worry about them being able to get through the game to see the true ending. Because, like, there are spots that even if you go, like, full scam mode, you're going to do, like, crazy tool architect, just spam. Even then, there's some that are going to be, like, really tough, I think, to get through. Like, really tough to get through. And that is always a little worrying, because I want people to be able to finish it. I want people to be able to enjoy it. But I do feel like sometimes the difficulty might, brick wall a couple folks, and that's okay. I think like that's good for a game to be difficult, but it is a little tricky when it's like, when it's a sequel to something, I guess, because like then there's a precedent, So it's tricky because you have to. It's like a hard balancing act because you have to make it a little bit more difficult because then people are like, oh, they baby the game, poo poo, whatever, and then people be all pissy about that. And then it's hard. It's hard to figure out, I think, like exactly where to land. And I think in a lot of cases, like for 90-ish% of the game, I think they're great. I think they nailed it with a lot of the stuff. I think like some of the contact damage is pretty crazy. I think like bumping into an enemy that's downed and taking 2 masks of damage feels, I think everyone can agree that feels stupid. If a boss like dashes into you and hits you, sure. But like it does feel crappy to have a boss like warp right on top of you and take 2 masks of damage, and then or like you float down and you're like, oops, I bumped into the enemy because I'm trying to like hit them while they're down, and if you're using like Wanderer or something and you just get too close and you bump into it, I think everybody can agree that sucks. There's not a lot of moments where that feels particularly great. I don't mind contact damage in the sense that like if the boss is like moving around and you crash into them or something like that, fine, but like it does suck when they're like downed to take damage from that. Overall, I really enjoyed it, though. I did. I will not lie, though, as we got towards the end, especially in Act 3, where I think some of the issues I think that people have, and some of the issues that I have with like the beast shard economy and some of that stuff, and if you didn't do all the rosary farming in Act 2, I think they do start to show. They go from like minor annoyances to like issues. Like they start to get really frustrating in Act 3 because you're like, Jesus Christ, like this is whatever. But again, it's not so bad that it's like ever like this sucks, I hate this or whatever. It's just like they're things that definitely are a little bit frustrating. But I mean, they've already patched a bunch of stuff. I mean, like they'll probably end up changing things here and there. Things will probably change whenever they do their DLC thing. I mean, it's just going to be, we'll just see what they end up doing. So, and I think that overall I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was very fun to get to voice a character, especially in this. And I will probably throw my name in the hat in case they need some shit for the DLC, or if they decide to bring Garmond back. Because here's the thing that's pretty cool. which I do like the title screen of them having the thingies like stuck in the ground. I think the fact that we saw that Lace got to be like purged of like the void shit, I think my theory on this, and I could be wrong, is, and they did this I think in Hollow Knight 1 with a couple things, the fact that Garmond and Zaza stay persistent in that area, and I'm assuming he is either dead or like whatever, the fact that they stay there for the duration of like the rest of the game makes me think they might do something with him. If at a minimum, if they don't do something like bringing him back or whatever, or like purifying him, whatever that may be, I could see them doing at least like, since everything's been like kind of memory based, there's been a lot of like memory stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if like we went into the memories of like a lot of different characters for a DLC or something like that. So like I wouldn't be surprised if they revisited him in some way. If for any reason, it seems like he's pretty popular as far as like a character goes, so they might end up revisiting that. I don't know if that was like in the cards or whatever, but like I said, I'm gonna try to get them to do. They did say that they would be interested in doing it, but we never specified like a time or anything like that. So I'll need to just message them here soon just to let them know I have finished it, since I hadn't done that yet. And chat with them about general thoughts and all that stuff, and maybe like. See if we could do like a QA thing. I think that'd be really fun, and I think we could also get some new folks in here from that too. I think that'd be really cool. Heck, I could even answer a couple questions, I guess, for people, but just not a lot. They would need to answer 99% of them because again, I don't know really shit about the development outside of certain things. So, but yeah, overall, I really liked it. Definitely some frustration for sure. I would say that this game has a considerable amount more frustration than the first game. I think that there's just parts that just go a little bit too far, and I worry less about like people who are okay with like high difficulty stuff. But like, I do worry about folks who maybe are like a little bit more on the just like casual, want to get through the game kind of thing, which I guess like, somebody said the other night, I forgot who it was, but they were like, I mean, that's kind of why like Twitch exists, I guess, in some cases, like they can come here and watch it or go somewhere else and watch it or whatever, Just message me and I'll filter him out. Oh yeah, I mean, you could, yeah, if you want to help that night, we can do that. Yeah, because this time actually when we do it, yeah, we have things like the threads on Discord and stuff, which would help out a lot with that. Yeah, the jump is definitely pretty hefty. I think it's a pretty big jump in difficulty. I think most people can probably agree with that. Yeah, I agree, Zombie. Yeah, because I was thinking about that too. Yeah, like the majority of people really haven't done a lot. I feel like the addition of tools made a lot of the boss encounters become enemy spam that just isn't interesting, and 2 damage static environment damage sucks. I agree with that. Yeah, I think the 2 damage static environment stuff is like stage hazard stuff. Yeah, that always feels crappy. We really noticed it on I think I noticed it when I was like doing, just because like the heal check is so tight with Beast, and I really do feel like very few people are using Beast Crest, but like on like Carmelita, if you're doing Beast, you really don't have a lot of room for using tools because you're already using like the fire buff, and you're probably also using Flea Brew just to get as much damage in as possible. She can be really crazy just from the amount of crap that's going on screen, especially getting hit by a projectile all the way across the screen, and then it double taps you, and you're like, fuck, okay. Or you get like stuck in like a weird loop where you can't quite get in there to do damage to heal back up. So like fights like that was pretty tricky. And then the boss gauntlet with the boys beforehand is also not, I mean, for God's sake, that was so unnecessary. We did not need that. Which I remember saying a few times, like I was just like, yeah, this doesn't feel like this needs to be here. Like this, I feel like we could have done without this extra thing or whatever in a fight where I'm like, I was enjoying this, and then this showed up, and I'm like, I don't know, man, that feels like it's a little extra. But it's it is pretty interesting. Yeah, the speed of the game's a little bit higher, too. Carl, you'd probably, I think you'd do fine. I think you'd do fine in it. Feels weird to be done with it, though. But, yeah, no, I ended up being really happy with, like, Garmond's character as a whole. I think that they did a really cool job with him. He ended up being a much cooler character than I thought. Like, I knew he'd be, like, fun and everything like that. I just didn't expect, I didn't quite expect, I didn't expect like so many people to like him, which is really cool. That just made me really happy to see. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, my only problem with the Seth boss was the his like hitbox is really weird with certain crest, it seems like. So, oh, we like already made one. Well, damn, I didn't know we already made one. We could wait until the, because we're not doing yet. I don't know yet. Whoa, wait. You hang on. Don't put eventually. I don't know yet. She's excited. I mean, we probably will, but yeah, I don't want to like promise anything because I don't know if like they'll actually be able to do it since they're still like trying to patch this up. It's okay. Just leave it. It's fine. They did. Yeah, I think they expressed interest in doing that. So, there we go. I guess there's a thread. They say a lot of things. Oh my god. Yeah, it's no, I like it a lot. I think in like the majority of ways, I think it's better than Hollow Knight. I think for like very specific things, I actually think Hollow Knight's a little bit better. I'm still not 100% on like. I think that the crest thing is really cool. I think it's a very cool idea, and I would say it's like akin to like swapping weapons in like a Dark Souls or something like that. And you know, because it changes your moveset, changes stuff. But the more I think about it, unfortunately, it does feel like, and there's always going to be things that are just better than other things in games, and it's kind of, you know, like obviously Beast is not meta. It's not. This is ridiculous. It is very dangerous. It's absurd. Like this is not the way I think most people are going to play. I think it's just, you can do some crazy shit with it, but this is not going to be like, no, you don't need to delete it. It's fine. No, that'd be a good place to keep them anyway. It seems like the most common thing, especially once people hit Act 3, is swapping to Shaman and then doing Volt Filament with Threadstorm or the Stabby Blades. That seems pretty popular. Architect seems extremely popular. In most of the time when I see a clip, I'll see Architect or Reaper. Seems like Wanderer is up there too. I don't see a ton of Witch, which is interesting. What if I delete? No, you don't have to. Why are you bargaining? Like, what? I'm so confused. You don't have to bargain. You don't need to delete anything. It's fine. I thought you like you were just like we were like hard dating this. I was like, well, hang on, I haven't even talked to him again yet. Yeah, no, the melee attacks are pretty cool with Architect. But I mean, yeah, you cannot deny that just rips with tools. I mean, and especially it makes things like Cogflies and stuff like that even better, just because you can refill them and like they're basically up the entire time. You can do so much damage. Hunter is a shame. I feel bad because I literally used it so little that I never even socketed anything into it after doing the memory lockets. Wow. I just noticed that. Erica, it's gonna be fine. Erica's boss likes her a lot. Everybody there likes her a lot. I don't know what she's worried about. Everything's gonna be a-okay. Reaper does seem to be up there in terms of popularity. I mean, so, you know, honestly, when you think about it, with Reaper and Wanderer being pretty popular, especially Reaper, Architect being really popular, and then people really enjoying Shaman in Act 3, you know, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think Witch gets slept on a little bit. I think the heal thing, like, kind of puts people off on it, but you could do some serious damage here, especially if you just kind of use your heal as damage. But again, that's kind of like, that turns into like you need to play well for it to work, because, you know, if you don't, then you're gonna be in trouble. But yeah, the crest system, I don't know, like, and I just feel like the way this all works with like the way like the tools are set up and stuff, there's a lot of blue ones that I just feel like don't probably get a ton of play. I think after a while, Fractured Mask does not feel great anymore because it's really nothing. Multi-binder is cool, but like probably not strong enough to really ever warrant using. I liked Sawtooth Crest a lot early on. I thought it was really neat, but it kind of outlives, or you kind of run past the usefulness of that. Weave Light we had on throughout most of the game because If you burn a lot of silk and you stay low, it's really good. If you stay high silk, it's not very good. But we stayed low silk pretty much all the time. Spool extender, again, I mean, I never found myself like sitting, because like the idea is to have more silk to heal or use silk skills, but you're probably using them, so you're probably not going to hit a point where you're like banking a ton. Reserve bind is really cool, but I just found myself not using that a lot either. Claw mirrors is great for witch. Memory crystal's cool, but I wish you kind of just exploded when you took damage instead of it leaving behind the crystal thing. That feels pointless. Snitch pick is awesome for regular enemies. I actually really enjoyed using that. That's really cool to hook into an enemy and damn near kill it just from that. Volt filament is disgusting, super good. And quick sling is cool if you're doing like the thing. So like there's Wreath of Purity. This was ridiculous because I feel like most people probably won't get this until they're probably done with Biowater. I might be wrong on that. I have no idea. Like, but you know, the Wisp-Fire Lantern, again, it just burns your silk, and I feel like that can put you in a really bad spot. Pin Badge is cool, but I don't think any of the charge attacks outside of like Wanderer really feel that great. This is just my personal look at this. Long Claw shows up a little too late, at least it did for me, and then at the same time, I don't think it really ends up mattering too much, especially because of Claw Hook. If Claw Hook didn't exist, maybe. Motivational quotes. You're gonna go pee and hit the pickle thing. Now click the button. Yeah, no, I could see like Pin Badge and like an Architect being really good. And so like there's also the Yellow Charms Scuttle Brace. I mean, come on. This is one of those things that's like, I think even if you try to use it, you're probably going to forget about it half the time because it's just easier to try to do something else. Ascendant Grip is, I think, kind of just a crutch if you're having trouble with maybe like a jumping puzzle, which there aren't that many of in the first place. So like, that's cool that it exists because it's helpful to have something like that, but I feel like there's just not enough. There's not enough jumping stuff that's so hard that you couldn't just like short hop on the walls and just stay. The sprint thing is just ridiculous. I feel like that comes in handy like none. Thief's Mark is pretty cool, but you have to be really careful. I don't quite get Spider Strings either, exactly how that works. Magnetic Dice or Magnetite Dice that's hands down like the best Yellow Charm outside of like, as far as like combat goes, the best. Bar Bracelet's fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. Weighted Belt's really good, especially if you're doing like Beast. Oh, you got the Wreath before Biowater, and actually, that's awesome. That's really good that you did that. You're a Hunter purist, it's just good. That's great. I barely used Hunter. I feel like once I got Reaper, I switched over to that and used that for most of the game, and then I started using Beast for the fat memes on bosses, and then when I got Witch, I enjoyed that a lot. Didn't really gel with Architect at first, but I do really appreciate it. I think it's cool. Shaman's neat. I think they're all good. I don't think like any of them suck, which is cool. But, you know, it's, yeah, the crest thing ends up being, like, really interesting because it just, I don't know, sometimes, like, it feels like it does pretty well, and, you know, it's got, like, some good, you know, I don't know, like, it feels like it's got, like, good aspects to it, but I don't know, it feels like the build diversity just didn't, and I mean, y'all know I tried, like, there were plenty of times where I was, like, swapping shit around and doing, like, different junk and, you know, whatever, like, all over the place, in some cases, to a detriment, where I would be like, I should probably just stick with something and just go with it, you know, but unfortunately, I would just end up, whatever, like, we'd maybe land back on Reaper, or, you know, something like that, but, so, I don't know, like, yeah, part of me feels like the build diversity is, like, really good, and then sometimes it doesn't feel so great. I think a lot of it lies in the Yellow Charms. I think the Yellow Charms just ended up being, like, mostly either things that felt mandatory, like the compass, or the rosary beads suck, which I once again forgot was a yellow charm because, again, it feels mandatory. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't really. I'm trying to think of, like, you know, because I remember in Hollow Knight, like, messing around with a bunch of different things, and even when stuff wasn't, like, particularly optimal or, like, fantastic, it did feel like there was a lot of good, like, a lot of good, like, neat combinations of stuff you could do. I think one of my favorite things in this is probably, and this is funny because we didn't use it all that much, I think that the poison one is probably one of the coolest things in the game. And the reason I like that so much, and granted, we didn't use it a ton, but I do like it just on its own, is the fact that it augments other things, I think is really interesting. And I always love stuff like that. And like I said before, you know, it's not something that's like so busted strong or whatever, but it can make things that were pretty powerful extremely powerful. But you kind of have to build around it anyway, and it really is dependent on using tools. So, like, and then of course, it takes up a blue slot, which means if it's something like Beast, which would benefit from maybe having like a... Because Beast would be incredible. If you had an extra blue slot and you put in like the poison, and then like your little fire buff thing was like buffed up, awesome. You know, you could do some really cool shit with that. But the problem is, Beast is super limited because it's mostly yellow, which sucks. Like, that's such a bummer that it's like mostly, you know, yellow. Which is definitely a bummer, but I don't know. So, like, in some ways it works, in some ways it doesn't. I think it's a pretty cool system in general, just from it being like a different set of attacks, which I think is nice. But yeah, I don't know if it like, I don't know if it works out like overall, like it makes it feel like the game is like much more dynamic or something like that. Like it does kind of, but then at the same time, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it adds so much that I'm like, damn, what a great thing. Like, you know, like, oh man, this is perfect kind of situation. I think the babies were cooking down there, hanging out. It's okay. I can still joke about. I wanted to make a joke during whatchamacallit, but even in jest, I don't want anybody to think I'm serious. When I was like, I'm so sorry for getting the damage buffer window nerfed because of how bad we abused that in Hollow Knight. Which obviously that's not the case, but you know, because I do feel like that's like something in this that is a little different too. Is like the time. There's like really no way to game those damage buffer windows to do a lot more damage. Even with Beast, you end up just kind of putting yourself into like a really bad position if you stay that close and you're not buffed up to like health drain or something like that. So, but yeah, no, I really did enjoy it. I think it's super cool. I think they did a really good job with a lot of things. You know, yeah, I think they did really. I guess Zaza doesn't really look like that thing too much. Like the skrills. And there's Trypophobia Beast over here. Which we need to... Did I fight Trobio? Oh yeah, no, we did. I still think that we're just gonna pretend that this isn't artistic liberty or the fact that somebody is the same artist working on everything, but I'm still pretty sure that Garmond is just a drape fly wearing armor. I think that's just his mustache. And I'm pretty sure he is just a drape fly wearing armor. That's my headcanon. I think that's what he is. You see what I'm saying? He's a drape fly wearing armor. That's all there is to it. Yep. That'll be my if once we get them in here, if we do, that'll be my first question. I'm like, why'd you make me a drape fly? And just let him cook on that one a little bit, you know. Just hit him with that. Be like, all right, welcome. Why am I a fucking drape fly? Why'd you do me like this? Why'd you do me like this? Oh yeah. You have questions from TikTok for me. Have Erica ask the questions. I guess I could just not be there. If I had like more to offer, then I would 100% do that. Like, because if I could like actually answer more questions, otherwise I'd basically just sit there looking like an idiot, looking like a big old dummy. Erica's got big organizational skills. She could definitely help a lot with organizing the questions and stuff. She's extremely good at that. We did it pretty well a long time ago, when we did it. But then again, Holiday was also like baby small at that time, so there was like no new people from that either. Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna walk around for a minute and think about what do. Yeah, overall, I think it's great. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't be opposed to. I wouldn't be opposed to doing like a Steel Soul thing, or whatever. So I could show you the current Remy run. That Remy run might be Remy over soon. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really I think I'm happy with it overall. I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I'm a ponder on it, and we'll see what do. I'll probably end up. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and stop the recording here for this. That way I can upload this just directly, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a short break, and then maybe we'll do like some RimWorld or something, because it is only like 10:30. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Something that people might be into watching. But yeah, I'll be back here in a couple minutes, so I'll see y'all in a minute. And for anybody who's in VOD land, thank you for watching this whole thing. I'm gonna stop the recording for this here, just so it's done. But yeah, I'll be back here in just a minute. So see you in a minute.